Hello, I'm your friendly neighborhood Luis Perez, and finally, after so many delays, I finally get to let out my review for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know it's been a while, I'm probably gonna keep this short. I might release another video which is more longer and probably more fun for you guys. But this was just a little review I decided to put up for the fans. One that I have. But here's my review for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, considering that the current popularity that this movie is getting, you're probably expecting to trash this video or this movie. Well, just stick around and find out. Is this movie truly can compete with Spider-Man 2, or will it fall like Spider-Man 3? Stick around and find out. The story here is that, well, it's kind of confusing, a story really. Apparently, that Spider-Man is now loving his job as Spider-Man, and he's enjoying it all every second of it, beating up villains like Alexei Shizovich. That is until he comes across his childhood friend Harry Osborn, who just came back to New York City after the recent death of his father, Norman Osborn. They connect and all that, and all fun and happy, and Peter's still trying to continue his on again, off again relationship with Gwen Stacy. But then we find out that an engineer slash fan obsessed engineer named Max Dillon falls into a pit of eels and he transforms into Electro. After a bunch of events that happen throughout, Electro hates Spider-Man and he teams up with Harry Osborn, who also hates Spider-Man because, spoilers, because his father died. He's going to die from the same disease that killed his father. But Spider-Man refuses to give it to him. Now Harry teams up with Electro to stop Spider-Man. Well, not stop, to kill Spider-Man so he can take his blood. Though he may try some other means to stop his disease, turning him into Green Goblin and eventually giving us the tragedy of the movie. Can Spider-Man stop these two villains from killing him and everything he loves? You have to watch the film to find out. Now, the story is good for the most part, but here's the thing, like, it's so confusing. Like, there's so many things piled onto this film that it becomes a jumbled bunch of a mess. So, the story is good. I do like the story, but sometimes the story will go filler, and a lot of scenes just don't go anywhere. Like, the on-again, off-again relationship with Peter and Gwen. Well, I do like the relationship. I just feel like the whole on-again and off-again situation is so boring. It's just so unneeded. You're a cute couple. Just stay like a cute couple. Anyway, aside from that, the story also does bring back Peter's parents, and while they do serve somewhat of an interesting plot about how he got Spider-Man, it does sort of go to a conclusion. I just feel they're just gonna build it up for another movie, which is definitely what they're doing. Overall, the story's not bad. I do enjoy it, but I really do miss the simplistic but yet comforting nature of the original Spider-Man films, and I'm not counting Spider-Man 3. But let's get to the characters. First, we have Peter Parker slash Spider-Man, played by Andrew Garfield. And if there's one thing I can say that was better in this film than in the original, was definitely the choice of Peter Parker. Like, Andrew Garfield takes it off the park. Andrew's performance in this movie is just amazing. He truly does play a true Peter Parker and a true Spider-Man. He both gets the geeky and on social side, but he also plays the fun-loving and pun-sporting Spider-Man that we all know and love. Overall, Andrew's performance and relationship with Gwen in this movie is simply perfect. Speaking of Gwen Stacy, then we have Gwen Stacy, played by Emma Stone, and she's also an amazing actress in this movie. Again, better than Kristen Dunst's Mary Jane from the original films, and I feel like their chemistry was done so much better in this film than in the original film, because that was another thing I really did not like in the original film, was Gwen's and Peter's relationship. And I'll give you more details on that when I release a much lengthier review of this. Then we have Harry Osborn, played by Dane DeHaan. And while I do love Dane DeHaan's portrayal of Harry, as he's more creepy and more villainous in this role, since that's clearly what Marc Webb is going with. And of course, he also plays the Green Goblin. Now, I'll admit it, Dane DeHaan plays the Green Goblin especially well. He plays it amazingly in this film. But I don't know, like, no, I just feel like I felt like they could have left it with with Jamie. I really miss James Franco's portrayal, where they were more friends, and they actually did develop their friendship. And they're developed a little. There's a couple scenes with Harry and Peter, but there's not that many. It doesn't really delve into the relationship between Harry and Spider-Man. So when the reveal is that Peter is Spider-Man, it's not as impactful or not as caring. So that's a pretty big issue. Overall, Dana Han did a good performance. Then we have our main villain, basically, Max Dillon's Electro, played by Jamie Foxx. And Max Dillon and Jamie Foxx plays an excellent villain. Though I really could have wished that he would have had more motivation. Like, seriously, his reason to become an Electro is so forced. Like, it is so forced. Like, he becomes a fan for no reason, and then he becomes Electro for a forced reason, and he becomes a villain for no reason. Like, he has no reason that he's Spider-Man. By the way, any reason to like Spider-Man. But overall, aside from that, the villain itself is amazing. I love the effects for Electro, and his fight scenes with Spider-Man are just spectacular. So overall, good Electro, but bad origin. Anyway, then we have Alexei Shishevich, aka the Rhino, played by Paul Giamatti. And here's a couple of spoilers. Alexei, he does have a short role, like a very short role. He only appears at the beginning as a Rhino, only once. And while I wouldn't mind it if it's in the middle, it happens at the very end. In fact, that's how the movie ends, with Spider-Man fighting Rhino, and it doesn't really end. So that was pretty disappointing. Overall, the Rhino was pretty cool, and Alexei does give out a few funny lines. So I do like Alexei's role in this. Then we have Aunt May, played by, it's so disappointing. I can't even remember the actress. How pathetic is that? Anyway, I still think that that Aunt May is done very well in this film. She does have her moments, and she has some very emotional moments with her and Peter. But she can never match with the Aunt May from the original films, who was just so loving and so caring. She was literally like a mother figure to Peter. And while that is kept in the newer films, I felt that was more. And while the newer Aunt May is amazing, I felt that the original kept it more loving and caring, which is still in the film, but let me continue. Overall, Aunt May is great. Then we have Felicia, and she's one of the few supporting characters I do not like. Like, the actress doesn't do bad with her role, it's just that she doesn't have that much to do with her role. Like, she barely does anything, and she never really has a good enough relationship with her. Which is pretty much a big disappointment by that part. Like, he never has any idea to why she helps Harry do the things he does. Like, she tells about the Secret Reports project, which is like one of the only scenes we see here with Harry, but we never really get a development with their relationship, which is clearly what she was saying in the interviews. But the actress does a good job, and I guess she wasn't that much of a waste. Then we have Donald Macon, played by Colin Farrell. Why couldn't this actor play Vulture? He was perfect for that. You know what? I was just gonna save it for another review, for another video. But anyway, Donald Macon, he's a good role. He does the job well. I like how he does become sort of a rival with Harry. I thought that was done pretty well, even though they didn't really develop that much. So, but overall, I do like Donald Macon. He is pretty done well in the role. And finally, we have Norman Osborn, played by Chris Cooper. And while he only has one scene, which was pretty disappointing because he clearly had more. I should say he was pretty well. He was done very well in the film. Yeah, he was pretty good. Like I truly got Chris Cooper's performance as Norman. I definitely got that. Well, he did a good job. So those are all the characters. Some of them are done better and some of them are done worse. Personally, I keep with the villains from the original, but I think the main leads are done better. Then we have the special effects. By goodness, the special effects are bloody amazing. Like, it is so good. I can't even begin. Like, Electro's electricity, Goblin's gliding abilities, the fight scenes. Oh, I just read the fight scenes here. Overall, the special effects are phenomenal, and they definitely have improved since the original Sam Raimi films, which were still good. They were very good, but this one really does top notch. Then we have the action scenes. Oh my goodness, the action scenes are so amazing. Like, it is so amazing, the fight scenes in this movie. Like they're so memorable. Well, not memorable, but they're just spectacular. It's just much more of Spider-Man's acrobatics, and the fights with Electro is just, great action. And we finally have the music. The music was very good. It was very good, especially Electro's and Harry's themes, and the Goblin theme, I must add. So yeah, I really do like that. But now I come to what's the best and which ones are the worst. The best scene in this movie is definitely the climax between Electro and Spider-Man. I thought it had everything. It had drama, it had action, it has humor, it had everything. It was just a perfect fight. Worst, I have to say the worst had to be Green Goblin. Well, they know how to play the Green Goblin very well, like perfect. He was so forced into the plot, like he was so forced. And he really played, and he only had there to kill Gwen Stacy. Like, that was just a waste of a great villain. That's going Venom territory. But he has less screen time than Venom. How do you do that? Overall, I'm not a big fan of what they did to Green Goblin. Aside from that, I give this movie the final verdict of a 7, no, not a 7, yeah, a 7.5 out of 10. It is a great movie. And if you're a Spider-Man fan, you should definitely see it. But it could have been better than Spider-Man 2. It was almost there, but because of the flaws and the main villains not being those interesting that were good, and the story making absolutely no sense, which is the most important thing for me in any movie was the story. It really does not. It can't go any higher than a 7.5. Still, this is a great movie. If you're a Spider-Man fan, definitely see it. If you like, so this has been my review for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. If you liked it, comment, like it, and subscribe. I'm your friend Luis Perez, and I'm gonna let you off with this awesome theme. See you later.